All right, how to analyze a property. So as we look at multifamily investments, we're going to look at a number of different things. And it typically comes down to about 6 or 7 different pieces that we want to target. The first is going to be the in-place revenue and in-place expenses. So we want to know where the property is at. What is the property doing today? How is the property performing today in today's market, whether it be the building itself or how it's being managed. The next piece of the puzzle we're going to look for is that what is the renovated rents, right? What are the renovated rents? Once we go and fix this place up, bring and make the adjustments to correct this property to make it match the market, what could those renovated rents look like? The next is, what would our stabilized expenses look like? Once we take over the property, we put a better plan into place for our business plan. What should the stabilized expenses look like for this property? Next would be, what would be the construction or the capital expenses to be able to take this property from where it is today with the in-place revenues and expenses to where we want to the market level rates and also the market level expenses here. What would it take to get there? The next piece of the puzzle is, what kind of debt would we use? What kind of leverage would you use in this property to be able to produce those results? What would it look like here? Would we use a bridge loan, a local community bank? Would we look at an agency a debt structure where particularly are we looking to hold this 2 years, 5 years, 7 years? Next piece would be, is there any other ancillary income or other income drivers that we could add on to this property? And lastly is, what are those returns that we would be seeking here? What kind of structure will we put? Would it be just ourselves buying it? Would we bring in partners? Would we look to offer to our passive investors a preferred return with a waterfall split? And what would those returns look like that we'd be looking to hit to make sure it aligns with our business plan? So you think this forward here, we want our in-place rents, in-place expenses. We want to understand what our market rate rents could be. We also want to understand what our stabilized expenses would be. Any other added income that we could find on the property, whether it be adding in pet fees or adding in amenity fees, right? Then we're going to look at currently what kind of debt would be best planned for this property and what would be our holding period for this property. Next would be, what would the construction be to take us to get to where we want with this property? And lastly, in terms of the structure, what would the investment structure look like from yourself and partners or just yourself? And what are the returns that you are seeking? Is there an IRR return? Is there a average annual return? But if you can think on those 7 metrics there, it's going to put you in the best position to win, to be able to analyze an investment effectively.